Hello, beautiful one, and welcome to another episode of the Sunday Read. This is episode 3 of Spiritually Fly. We're just going to jump right in because that's what we do when we do these Sunday reads. I'm still in the introduction, page 3. And here we go. The past will shed light on the future. In college, I had an amazing philosophy teacher, Dr. Horton. It's strange how the universe works. I was a marketing major and was only required to take one philosophy class. But out of all the college professors, Dr. Horton was one of my favorites. He had a brilliant ability to relate philosophical principles to modern life, and he introduced me to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. As he clearly guided us through the 196 threads of spiritual awakening, I was drawn to the beauty of the text and the concept that I could actually experience bliss. One of the sutras I found most intriguing was 1.40. It referred to how we as humans have the capacity to control the mind and the ability to concentrate on the smallest atom or the vast universe. Within this purified mind, all is possible. As I struggled with my own religious God, the Yoga Sutras opened a door to the belief that I was powerful in some way. Although I didn't reopen a copy of the Yoga Sutras until I enrolled in yoga teacher training in 2003, I held on to the hope of experiencing spirit in some capacity. On Thanksgiving in 2002, I unrolled my yoga mat on the left side of a tiny yoga studio on Christopher Street in New York City. I had walked into a Laughing Lotus Yoga Center and my heart chakra was doing a glittery dance. Prior to practicing in this space, my yoga experience was relatively low-key. Laughing Lotus filled the space with the witty laughter of people from all walks of life, and the teachers encouraged us to be ourselves while at the same time loudly playing Prince's 1999. The center had bright colors on all walls, and there was a blend of personal devotion, real New York life, and mystical play on the mat. This became my home away from home, and it slowly opened my heart to spiritual exploration. I eventually graduated in 2003 from their yoga teacher training, and after a few years of teaching in New York City, I decided to live with my younger brother in Washington, D.C. It was 2006, and so much had changed about the city since my days of working in nonprofit during the Clinton era. I returned to working in nonprofit, and I taught yoga at night at a local studio and at gyms. To my surprise, the DC yoga industry was nothing like it was in New York, where I had worked full-time as a yoga teacher. In fact, the yoga scene in DC truly sucked. There was zero diversity, and students complained about my music and method of teaching. Okay, I'm going to stop laughing now. We're going to get to the good stuff. Within a year, I opened a yoga studio, Shakti Mind Body, with another African American yoga teacher. We both disliked the energy and atmosphere of other studios in the city, so we created a more appealing environment, and our Mount Vernon Triangle location soon became a haven for all types of people. But the highlight was that we were the first. We were the first studio in DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia area where people of color could be trained by people of color. The first. I'm going to go back. I'm kind of going off the read right now because this is really important. We opened in 2006. There were no other Black-owned yoga studios in the entire area. And there were definitely not any Black teachers training other Black yoga and meditation teachers. Okay, I'm going to go back to the book now because we still have a few more pages. Unable to step away from my church roots, I taught a yoga class, my form of spirituality, every Sunday morning. Merged with my own flavor, it was joyous, challenging, and always had a message. One of our regulars was devoted to my Sunday morning class, arrived one day and explained that her Baptist minister was concerned that she wasn't attending Sunday morning service anymore. My mind projected a variety of negative thoughts that mostly related to religious teachings that Sunday was reserved for worshiping God and that all good Christians go to church on Sunday. But I held my tongue and allowed her to shed light on the dilemma. She was torn between yoga and church, but wanted nothing more to keep yoga as an internal part of her Sunday ritual. She asked my opinion, and I told her to listen to her soul. The following Sunday, she returned, drifted quietly to her favorite spot, unrolled her pink yoga mat, and practiced her yoga. I later asked what she had decided to do. She responded, "Sunday morning yoga feels best on a spiritual level, and this is what I need to kick off my week. So I'll see my minister on Wednesday nights for Bible study." She went on to share that practicing on Sunday was the right amount of Holy Ghost infused with modern teachings and urban vibrations, and it was spiritually fly. The next day, I woke up and I decided to change the name of my Sunday class to Spiritually Fly. I wasn't sure why it needed to be this, but my students' experience reminded me that spirit lives within. The practice I had been sharing and the experience we were having was filled with our collective spirit. It wasn't saturated with religious dogma, but instead it blended ancient healing technologies with the modern application. Based on what students needed and what heart was speaking, the class was about being present. And for at least 90 minutes for your own soul. I found myself stepping outside of who I thought students wanted me to be and began to fully teach from my own experience. The class was a must in most lives of my students, and their presence and authenticity became a benevolent offering in my life. I miss my students. I do, because they were amazing. Since 2007, my Sunday class has morphed into workshops and a lifestyle and is now my spiritual practice. Spiritually Fly. That's how the name came about from one of my students. Happy Sunday, and have a beautiful week.